how not to slip into darkness. Okay, the 3 ways to live a stress-free life. The step one, I'm going to get straight into it. I'm not going to feed you a bunch of mumbo jumbo. Step one is to how to practice unconditional love of self. These are specific keywords that I'm speaking. So that if you are not listening, listen to every single word, or you will miss something and you will miss the importance of this step. This is step one. Listen to me. The title is the 3 ways to live a stress-free life. Again, I will repeat it one more time to give it that 3 of oneness, right? The 3 ways to live a stress-free life. Step one, how? Listen very carefully to these words. Every word that I say is a deliberate choice that I'm making. All right? Step one, how to practice. Keyword, practice unconditional love of self. What does that mean? And I will repeat it one more time to give it that 3 of unity, right? The triad, the triangle, the Son, the Father, the Holy Ghost, or the Trinity, or whatever. 3 triangle connecting together creates unity, right? How to practice unconditional love. How to practice unconditional love of self. Keyword, self. Nobody else in this equation matters but you right now. How to practice unconditional love of self is as simple as 1, 2, 3. First, you have to define what is love to you. Do you call it love and not unconditional love? Because you speak words and your words are very powerful. Abracadabra, whatever you say, your wish is your command. Whatever you say. So be careful of the words that you speak. So first you must define your definition of love. If you have no definition of love, this is why you suffer. This is why you're not feeling the love that you think that you should be feeling. Love should be soothing and soft and comforting and compassion. But if your idea of love is not making you happy, then you need to reevaluate your definition of love. And if you've never ever questioned your definition of love, now is a good time to start. See, everyone's definitions of everything, particularly love, is built on, the definition of love is built on your relationship to it. I will repeat. Your definition of love is built on your relationship to it. What that means is, how did you grow up looking at love? What was it that your parent or parents taught you that love was? Did your parents show you affection? Did they give you gifts in the form of love? So defining your definition of love will help you have a more grasp on what it is that you're buying into. What kind of love? The quality of your love. Just because you love doesn't mean it's a quality receivable love, because all love is not love. Love in the way that is positive, it is love, it is light. It is everything that is good, everything that feels good. What is good? Everything that feels good to you. It makes your body go yippee like a little kid. So much joy inside and happiness. That's love. That's love. That's an embodiment of love. So that's very simple. I mean, it doesn't get any simpler or easier than that. To practice love of self, but first you must you must go back and ask yourself, what is my definition of love? If you don't have a definition, then you need to create one. Because you cannot have an emotional feeling about something without a belief and a definition attached to that belief. All right. That's that one. That's step one. Step two is how to practice no judgment of any kind of self. We'll repeat that 2 more times. How to practice no judgment of any kind of self. One more time. Listen to the words carefully. How to practice unconditional. No, I'm sorry. I'm going back to step one. But step two is how to practice no judgment of any kind of yourself. Now, let's go further, a little bit deeper, and get to the bottom of it. I'm not going to send you on a wild goose chase into the meaning of it. It's so simple. It's right there. It's in the statement, how to practice no judgment of any kind of self. That means I don't judge myself. It's that simple. Stop judging yourself. 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 Why are you judging yourself? What are you judging yourself for? And how are you judging yourself? And when are you going to stop judging yourself? So, how to practice no judgment of any kind to yourself. It's very simple. Because when you stop judging yourself, you stop judging other people. Because what you're doing to yourself is how you treat people. It's that simple. Why do you judge yourself? It makes no sense. Why judge yourself? Because you have a belief that God judges, so I will judge myself. You're always being judged. Well, if you buy into a judgment, if you buy into an idea like judgment, which is only a belief, you don't have to buy into it. You don't have to buy into anything. You can buy into all things negative if you so choose, or you can buy into all things positive and be aware of the negative, but not choose to partake in the negative. It's that simple. Stop judging yourself. Because when you stop judging yourself, you stop judging others, which comes back around, and you don't have any, it's none of your business. It's none of your business. As long as it's not affecting you, it's none of your business. You don't have the power to control anybody. The only person, even if you have children, the only person that you have control over is yourself. Now, when I say children, I'm not saying that you don't have control over them. You are responsible for giving them the tools that they're going to take along this journey, along this school. You're going to give them a backpack full of tools and lessons to give to them so that they could utilize them in real time, in everyday life, right? Don't judge yourself. That's simple. Can't beat a dead horse. Practice it. Anything you do over 100 times, it becomes innately inside of you. It becomes part of your DNA. I will repeat, anything that you practice over 100 times, it literally becomes part of your DNA. Simple as that, period. All right, that was step 2. Step 3 is how to practice forgiveness of self. How to practice forgiveness of self. This is very, 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 very important. Very important. Very important. How to practice forgiveness of self. How to practice forgiveness of self. Very powerful. Because when you forgive yourself, you start to forgive others. Because anything you practice over 100 times, it's that simple. It becomes innately inside of you. You begin to become aware of the thing that you're doing. You do it over 100 times. The awareness of what you're doing is very important. The awareness of what you are doing is very important. Practice, practice, practice. You know, they say practice makes perfect. But practice becomes part of your DNA, literally. You do anything over 100 times. Tying your shoe. You tie your shoe. You tie it the first 50 times. You were struggling and, oh my God. I know I can get it. And then you kept trying. You kept trying. And after that 100th time, you tied it successfully. You were focused to get that shoelace tied. And then the moment you did it 100 times, you became unfocused and you just did it without thinking. Multitasking, talking, playing with your friends, playing hide go seek. Hold on, let me tie my shoe. You tied your shoe, had a conversation, and forgot that you even thought you tied your shoe. You just did it without thinking. Forgiveness of self. How to practice forgiveness of self. It's that simple. How to practice forgiveness of self. Forgive yourself. Forgive your family. Forgive your thoughts about how you were raised. Forgive your mother. Forgive your father. Forgive people that you think that may have offended you, hurt you, harmed you. Forgive them. But you don't have to do it to their face. Now, here's the thing about forgiveness. You don't have to go and call people and say, hey, I forgive you. No, forgiveness starts with self. They don't have to know. You don't have to be in people's faces to forgive. You can forgive in your heart. Forgive yourself because it's for your own betterment. See, here's the thing. Sound like Kevin Hart. Here's the thing. How you think, holding on to judgment and not being able to forgive yourself, guess what, people? It manifests into physical sickness. I will repeat. It manifests into physical sickness. Give me 1 second. Okay, had to go spit real quick. So when you are not able to forgive yourself, you judge yourself, you don't love yourself, and you begin to hate others because of your lack of training of knowing how to become balanced, right? You know, the doctor says, you've heard this your whole life, that stress kills, right? It's not a metaphor, people. It's not a metaphor. It's not a metaphor. It's not a metaphor. See, when you stress, when you are not able to forgive, you hold on. Your moment, right? Your now moment, right now, and this moment right now is being stolen by a past event that's now stealing this current moment. I'm gonna let this cop car pass by. Must be something going on. I don't know. Don't care. Because it's not involving me, but I have compassion for whatever's going on. But I'm not gonna let these sirens, or conjure up in my brain what I think something. It's not always something bad happens, every time you hear a cop car. But that's I'm not gonna go deeper. That was just a blanket statement. People could take that statement I just made and twist it. But here we go. So again, how you think, your definitions about everything that you believe in, which is your definition of love, judgment, forgiveness, is going to affect the quality of your life. So what I'm saying is, get more. If you want to change your life, if you want to live a stress-free life, You need to adopt more positive reinforcement of words. If you don't like the definitions that you have of certain words, change them and make them positive. It's that easy. It's that easy. It's that easy. But you will make it hard. You don't have to make it hard, but you will make it hard on yourself because right now you still practice judgment of yourself and you practice self-doubt. You don't trust yourself. You don't trust your ability to create and manifest. A laughter. Step 4. Step 4 is the last step. At this moment in time, this is the last step. It could be more steps added, but right now, these are the first 4 steps into living a stress-free life. How to practice no expectations of self. Let me rephrase that. I know I'm misquoted, but I misquoted, but actually you can still go back to no judgment. Repeat it again. No judgment, forgiveness. How to practice unconditional love of self. How to practice no judgment of any kind of self. How to practice forgiveness of self. And number 4, how to practice no to zero expectations of self. I was all over the place with that. Let me start over. Step 4 is how to practice no expectations of self. How to practice no or zero expectations of self. How to practice no or zero expectations of yourself. That means stop expecting yourself to accomplish everything that you have or want to do in life. You don't have to rush. This is not a rat race. There are expectations on your job to performing at a certain pace or at a certain level. There's expectations when you're playing sports to win. There's expectations in life to become a son or to be, not to become a son, but to be a son, or to be a father, or to be a husband. There's a lot of expectations in the world. And if you want to live a stress-free life, you got to get rid of expectations. You got to get rid of expectations. You got to get rid of expectations if you want to live a stress-free life. Unless you have a healthy mindset of expectations, you can balance it out. You can still practice expectations, but not be stressed out, right? But you have to utilize your mind to find that balance. See, expectation has a cousin by the name of disappointment. And disappointment also has relatives that causes stress, that are named stress, and that are named anxiety. And then the head part of that family is disease. So people go around having expectations. You should love me, and nobody loves them. Then they want to kill themselves, and then they start stressing themselves out. Oh my God, I expect you. I did this for you. You should do this for me. I don't think that people should do things out of obligation. You're not obligated to do anything. You should do it from your heart. Do things from your heart, because that's how you treat yourself. You want other people to do it from their heart. So if you want to receive things from people's hearts and not out of expectation, then you be that person. You're going to reflect back to you what you want, right? And people don't always have to give you the reciprocity that you give. They don't have to reciprocate. They don't. But you give from your heart. If you give from your heart, you will receive from your heart, or it will be given to you from that person's heart, if that makes sense. Stay on track. Stay on track with me, because these are very important words of wisdom. No expectations of self. It's that simple. It's that easy. Don't make it complicated. Don't expect anything of yourself if you are not if you're having a stress. If your life is stressed, you might want to just practice it for a couple of days. Practice not stressing. Having no expectations. I don't expect myself to get out of bed. I don't expect myself to go to work. I don't expect myself, but do it healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like, just try it out for like 1 or 2 days and see how it feels. Of just today, I have no expectations of me doing anything. I'm just going to be in the moment. I'm going to be in the moment. Or do it excites me at every moment. Wow. I like that. Do what excites you at every moment, no matter how small and tiny it is. An example, because you always want examples, right? I give you a loaded gun and don't tell you how to shoot it. So that's not the analogy I was wanting, because I don't want to do violence. I don't want to speak violence. Guns are violent. Are they, or are they not? So going back, well, I forgot what I was saying. Anyway, that's it. That's all I have right now. And you can pick up this book anytime you want. So just to recap, unconditional love of self, no judgment of any kind of self, to practice forgiveness of self, and no expectations, no or zero expectations of self, because that which you do to yourself, you do unto others. And if you practice anything over 100 times, it literally, I mean literally, becomes part of your DNA. On that note, I just want to say thank you all for listening, and enjoy the rest of this moment and rest of your day, or whatever it is you're doing while you're listening to this podcast. Be blessed. Peace out. And listen to the darkness. Step out of the darkness.